So, welcome to Priestess of the Plants. I'm India. This is my beautiful sister, Jessie. And I am a women's liberation coach. I support women to become fully liberated in their pleasure, in their spirituality, and in their emotional bodies. And I'm also a priestess of the plants. I work deeply with plants, weaving them throughout my life and the work that I do. And I support women to also build their own businesses and to be financially liberated through working with the plants as well.
I'm Jessie. I've been working with essential oils for over 8 years now. And I really have such a deep reverence and respect for them. And I believe one of the reasons that I'm good at teaching people about essential oils is that most of my time I'm in student with the plants. So I really like take my time to be with them, to learn about them, to read about them, to use and experience them myself. And so being like such a student of the plants, I'm then able to share that experience and teach others about them. I've built a 7-figure business with doTERRA, and I'm in a phase now where I'm calling in some new leaders into my business and helping more people like India create powerful, liberated, expansive, deeply abundant businesses with weaving the plants and weaving essential oils in what they already do as well, what they're already passionate about. Like the plants are such an extension or another tool that we can weave with everything that we do and we share. So I'm really passionate about that. That's one of my main things in life. I'm also a musician. I run retreats. India and I are running a retreat in January together, which will be amazing. So that's me. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. So, we're going to dive into the plant kingdom through the lens of the archetype of the priestess. And the reason that we're going in through the priestess is that she is such one who is so deeply connected and weaves the plants and the alchemy of the plants in a way that's really true to the sacredness that these beautiful spirits hold. So the priestess is one who weaves between worlds. She is one who is connected to the divine and who does healing work as well as holding sacred rites. So just like today, we mostly know of priests in today's culture because of what has occurred in history and the kind of banishing of the goddess cultures, which is where the priestesses predominantly presided in ancient times. So in ancient times, there were priestesses, and they held a high position within society. They were the ones who did particular rites and communed directly with the divine, and people came to them at really potent times in life to be initiated or to receive a sacred rite. And so one of the main things of the priestess was she would receive the title of the anointrix, which was a sacred title when she had been properly trained in working with these essential oils and in performing particular rites. So the anointing would occur at times like birth and death, rebirth, kingship and queenship. So when someone was ordained into their kingship or queenship, when a priestess entered into the priestesshood, all of these really important milestones or initiations in a lifetime would be marked with a sacred rite, including marriage, of anointing on the body with these beautiful oils. So oils such as frankincense and myrrh have been used for thousands of years, and these oils were regarded as some of like the most valuable commodities that there were at that time. So myrrh was equal to the value of gold, for example. And so the priestess had intimate relationship with the spirit of the plant as well as the rites that were around it. And so she would administer these. And when you look to religion, you'll find that there still are some clues within religion, such as Christianity, that point towards the truth of this. So Christ actually means the anointed one. So the name Christ is literally talking about the anointed one, anointed with essential oils. And same, the Messiah also means the anointed one. To be anointed, you need to be anointed by someone who is as equal or higher power than you. And the priestesses held that power equal or higher to Christ. So they were truly divine, sacred beings who were well trained in these sacred arts, and they had the level of power where they were able to anoint a Christ or a Messiah. So how is this relevant to us now and today? Is that each of us has the ability to access the priestess. It's an archetype. And the priestess is here to return sacredness, divinity, natural healing, and the ways of the plant kingdom into the collective consciousness. She's here to return the sacred divine feminine into the collective consciousness. And so working with the plants is an act of sacred revolution. And you have the opportunity to do that, to be a part of the plant revolution and to actually change the world that we're living in. Instead of living in a fucking world where toxins are in every single thing, in every product, in everyone's home and everyone's food, we get to choose a different way. We get to choose to live with the plants. Like, their healing properties are beyond, still blow me away every time I hear a new story about it. So you can work in this way with a priestess, with yourself, with your close loved ones, or you can also choose to weave in this way of the priestess in a way where you're building a business and bringing more and more people until it's rippling out into society. Both ways, whether you're just doing it for yourself or you're doing it through your business, are just as important and potent.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
Do you have anything else you want to share on the priestess?
No. I love learning from you about this. It's really fun for me as someone that's been in this for almost a decade now to just like be learning new things constantly. Like, I had no idea about the anointrixes and the really any understanding of the priestess side of things. So it's just so fun to learn from you.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say is that the plants and working with them is such a potent way to connect to the feminine and to, so the feminine is our emotional body, our physical body, and we access that through our senses. So when we utilize the plants and we're like taking, like neroli and like breathing it in, we're having this sensory experience through breathing it in, and then also the activation that like the spirit, for example, of neroli does, which neroli is connected with.
Neroli is the oil of shared purpose and partnership. So it's the flowers of a bitter orange tree. So it smells quite citrusy as well as floral. It was traditionally used. They would have the flowers, like neroli flowers, on a woman's bed on the night of her marriage, to consummate the marriage.
So when you smell that, it's connected to this like strong history of sacred sexuality, really, and the body remembers, and the code of the unique plant. I've seen it where you put the plant on your skin and you have your own unique code in your body, and the plant has its unique code, and the code will begin to fuse with yours and maybe bring up like past life memories or this ancient somatic remembering of all of the rich history of that particular plant. So for example, that one, this connection to marriage consummation in such a sacred way.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful oil of deep intimacy and connection. It's so interesting when you're talking about like the plants, how they're working with us, because when you smell something, it is your fastest track down memory lane. Your sense of smell is your fastest track down memory lane. So for example, I lived in India for 6 months when I was 5 years old, and my dad used to always buy me mango juice poppers when we were out like on the streets in India. So whenever I smell mangoes or mango juice, it transports me to that time in India. So you can really use essential oils to anchor in memories or experiences. Like for example, I wore jasmine on my first date with Jack, my partner. And so wearing jasmine now like anchors that romance and the beginning of our relationship and with him. So he smells it and is like transported to, our first date or different other dates as well, because I've worn it on many dates with him now. So yeah, it's a beautiful anchor.
So beautiful.
Are you finished that?
Yeah.
Is it my
I feel complete there.
All right, so how they work. Well, I just started talking about that. They also work on a physical level. When you apply essential oils to your body topically, like your skin, everything absorbs through your skin. That's why it's so horrific to be using things like cologne and perfume and like toxic cleaning products and toxic skincare products, because our skin does absorb everything that we put on it. I don't want to put things on my skin that I wouldn't want to eat, because it is going in straight into my bloodstream. So when we apply essential oils, they enter through our skin and they actually enter our bloodstream. And so they work on a deep cellular level. So that's why you can use essential oils to support your physical health as well, in terms of your immune system. They can be antiviral, antibacterial, mold, fungus, all of these things that they in nature protect against threats in their own environment. They can support our bodies to protect against threats. But then, as I mentioned, when we smell something, it enters the olfactory system and our limbic system, which is the emotional center of our brain. So when we smell different smells, we can use them to really affect our mood and emotions and to support us on that deep emotional, energetic, spiritual level. And so different ones work in different ways, like flower or floral essential oils, for example, like jasmine, rose, neroli, blue lotus. The florals are very emotionally supportive, like very comforting, deeply feminine, heart-opening, emotionally supportive. Whereas oils like frankincense, arbor vitae, which is a big Native American red cedar tree, cedar wood, myrrh, all of those kinds of things are very deeply grounding into the earth, and they're more like masculine. It's like this sturdy, safe, protective, powerful energy that kind of stands or sits behind us, and we can feel really deeply supported on that grounding level. And then you've got all of your citrus oils like grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, lime, all of those kinds of things, wild orange. All citrus oils are very joyful and beautifully uplifting. So you can put a drop or two in your hand, breathe that in, or diffuse citruses for really joyful, uplifting, like getting you out of that heavy, dense emotions. Then you've got mint oils like spearmint, peppermint, Japanese peppermint, which are very like, minty and focusy, like sharp, bringing you back to the present. And then you've got herbaceous oils like marjoram and rosemary and basil, which can really support with adrenal health and focus, and like they all have very different properties, but generally you've got your grounding like wood tree oils, your floral oils for beautiful heart opening emotional support, citrus for joy, mint for clarity and focus, and then the herbaceous ones have lots of different weavings and properties. Yeah,
all the things.
This is what they do. So India wanted me to share some stories of people that have had really powerful healing experiences with essential oils as well. I was at an event quite recently, just maybe a month or two ago, here on the Gold Coast where I live, which was really beautiful because it was the first like doTERRA corporate organized event in the last couple of years with everything that's happened. And this woman, Angie Keats, was there, and she's a doTERRA leader. She's been using essential oils actually for the same amount of time that I have. She started in 2014, which is the year I started, around the same month even. I think it was like June, July. So that's pretty cool, because that was the first time I really connected with her, interestingly. And her husband, when she started in 2014, couldn't walk. He was like paralyzed from the waist down. There was some weird just medical thing going on for him, and he was in a lot of pain and nothing was really helping, and doctors had told him that like he wouldn't walk again. And he started using the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which is some doTERRA supplements, and he was using frankincense and copaiba and ice blue rub. And now he's a yoga teacher, like literally teaches yoga. He can walk again, has full mobility back, and really puts that down to the use of the doTERRA oils and products. And I'm sure other lifestyle changes that he made as well, but just like continues to blow me away. I was just like, what? You took Lifelong Vitality and are now not only can you walk, but you're a yoga teacher. Like, what on earth?
What that just brought up for me is like, okay, so this man literally was told that he could never walk again. He's paralyzed, and just predominantly through these oils, he's walking. And you think about, just because I was talking about Jesus just before, and the miracles of him like helping people to be able to walk again, or like having these profound healings, And we know that at the time he and people around him and priestesses around him were working with these oils such as frankincense, which have the ability to create the type of miracles that we hear about in the Bible and think are some sort of like magic, which they are, because plants are magic and we actually have access to them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and claim to cure, treat, prevent any kind of disease. Always work with your healthcare professional, but the things that I've heard in the last decade have been life changing and profound. Using frankincense and also the intune focus blend on the back of the neck has been incredible with kids with autism and ADHD. There are children that I've heard of in my team that have previously been non-verbal and then start to use essential oils and like say to their parents, I love you, which is obviously like completely life changing for a child to go from non-verbal to then expressing their love for their parents verbally, like just wild things. Yeah, they're freaking incredible. Like they've really, really deeply supported me with my gut health and autoimmune challenges that I had, and my autism as well, panic attacks, my nervous system, just the way that I am emotionally, my level of being grounded, my level of ability to actually interact in social situations and experience my day-to-day life. It's been profoundly life-changing to work with these plants and oils. They've been honestly the number one tool that I've invested in for my health and wellness that's made the biggest and deepest impact. I work a lot with yoga and food and breath work and meditation and all these other pieces. And it wasn't until essential oils came into my life that I started to notice significant changes and improvement. I don't want to discount many of the other things I do because they're all beautiful, important tools, but I have a deep love and reverence and respect for these because they are powerful and potent, and you really don't need a lot to make a big difference to your body. Like the way these work is you're getting pure plant material, and they're either steam distilled or if they're a citrus oil, they're cold pressed. So you're taking the plant material and steam distilling it most of the time, and you're getting the essential oil, the volatile aromatic compounds that are very, very potent and pure. So they're like when you work with herbs are bloody amazing, by the way. But these are far more potent than herbs, like 20 times more potent, and you really only need a drop or two at a time to have like a really powerful, profound effect in your body. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. We're going to speak about some specific oils.
Yeah.
Now.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some specific oils, and we've chosen ones that are quite connected to the priestess, as that's what we're journeying with tonight. And the beautiful thing about these plants is that, like I said, they each have their own spirit, and when you use them, you get to develop a relationship. And I personally find, and I know Jessie has shared this with me as well, that every time I use them, my relationship deepens. Like I actually feel, the unique spirit of that, and it will give me like, sometimes I get visuals where it's showing me, like for example with myrrh, she has shown me, so myrrh comes from a resin, and myrrh is the oil of the womb of Mother Earth. And so I was with Jessie in this beautiful cave, this beautiful womb-like cave, and we were doing some anointing and using myrrh, and she was giving me this visuals of how the resin is like this, like looks like blood, like the blood of the womb of the earth. And the visuals that I'm having, it's like truly a plant medicine journey, right? A lot of the time when people talk about doing plant medicine, they talk about these really big sort of intense ones where you go and be with a shaman and have these like intense visual psychedelic experiences. However, the truth is that all plants hold plant medicine and wisdom, and you can have a plant medicine journey by using this, and you can receive wisdom and codes and visuals in a way that is much more integratable in everyday life and building that relationship in everyday life than some of those bigger experiences, which if the nervous system isn't ready, may not be able to integrate yet. So this is a beautiful way to journey with the plants in that way that is supportive for the nervous system.
Yeah, very, very deeply supportive. So one way you can use myrrh essential oil is just taking the top off and rolling it in the palm of your hand, and then simply breathing that in And then you can also use topically, and because myrrh is the oil of the womb of Mother Earth, applying it to your womb is a really beautiful way to use that as well. Whether you're male or female, you can just apply it to your womb space and really drop in with that. It's really nice to take some deep breaths when you're working with essential oils to ground into the earth as well. Or if you're in a home, just like, you know, sitting down or having your feet on the floor and just like taking time to really be present. You know, obviously throughout your day, sometimes we're just whipping essential oils on as we're doing things. Like if I'm doing working and I'm just putting intune on the back of my neck, or, you know, just using different essential oils throughout the day. I might not necessarily always drop in, but it is really nice to be intentional about it and actually like take the time to just really drop in with them.
So one of my favorite things about myrrh is her ability to like really drop me into my body. So although I have done a lot of work to be in my body, and I am still, I'm, you know, if I'm like on my computer working a lot and I'm quite up in the mind, if I just have myrrh, it's like this, I like just then my belly expanded, my got a little heavier in my shoulders, and it's just like, okay, I'm grounding back in here. And it's just from taking one breath of myrrh, whereas in the past, the only thing that ever really gave me that in that like way like that was tobacco, whether that was through like rapé or smoking tobacco in the past. It would ever like bring me in and I'd be like, wow, I wish I could get this from something other than tobacco because I don't want to smoke tobacco. And now I've discovered like one sniff of myrrh can also bring me in that same way.
Yeah, it's so deeply grounding. It's beautiful. The next oil, is there anything else you want to say about myrrh? Good. The next oil we're going to speak about is rose essential oil. Rose is just so special and so beautiful. I make chocolate at home and I love using rose and black pepper essential oil in it. Rose is the oil of unconditional love. It's just incredibly heart opening. And another really beautiful way that we can use essential oils is actually anointing each other. And this is not something that I'd really explored much in the past. You know, I've been using essential oils for almost a decade, and Jack has definitely applied oils to me in the past, which is so beautiful to receive and allow someone else to apply essential oils. But I went to Dean and India's workshop. What was the name of that workshop again?
Dance of Polarity.
Dance of Polarity. Yeah, it was so nice. And we did a bunch of different practices, like dropping in with the masculine and feminine and weaving. But India was talking, do you want to talk about anointing? This is kind of your...
Yeah, so thing. The anointing is like it can be such a beautiful practice. So the practice of anointing is like anointing oils onto parts of the body, particularly like the third eye and the heart, maybe the womb, the feet, and maybe pulse points. And it can be done as a deep act of devotion. So in this workshop that I held with my partner, we had the people in pairs and they did this devotional act of anointing, and it is profoundly beautiful. Like when I've done this for my partner, like a whole experience, you could do like a 5-minute anointing, you could do like a 15-minute anointing, you could do an hour anointing where you like when I've done it with my partner, it's like weaving in like my light language and touch and words of affirmation, and like he's having this, I don't know, you know, say I had rose, I'd be like, breathe in the spirit of rose and then like work with the spirit with him, and for him to receive that deeply and to be having the sensory experience, the spirit experience of the spirit, the experience of my devotion is profound for someone to experience. So it's something you can really bring in deep intimacy, in connection, not just in partnership or with a romantic connection, but in sisterhood. It's so beautiful as a, you know, going beyond just the words and coming into devotion and seeing your sister or a brother and giving to each other in that way.
So beautiful. Yeah, Jack came home from quite a challenging night a couple of weeks ago, and he was really like in emotional pain. And so I laid out I've got these big square meditation cushions, and I laid them out in the lounge room and just put on a beautiful, like really relaxing, nourishing playlist, and spent probably half an hour, 45 minutes anointing him and, putting things like rose on his heart and blue lotus on his third eye and myrrh on him and Hawaiian sandalwood and like lots of beautiful grounding and emotionally supportive oils. And he was able to like express and release emotion. So admit, and then they disappeared. So it's just a beautiful practice. And I'm grateful to you, India, for bringing it like more into my life. So all you do is just apply the essential oils wherever you feel called to, like really just follow your intuition. And then the beautiful thing about this is the essential oils are weaving, but you're also with your loving touch and presence really weaving with the plants as well. Just going to apply a few different ones to India. I really love putting jasmine, which is the oil of sensuality, on the wrists. And you can roll it on, but then I also like to rub it in with my own wrist.
Which is so beautiful. The first time Jessie did this to me, I was like, oh my gosh, it feels amazing.
Yeah. And then you can lift their wrist for them to smell. And then you can breathe it in so you have that really beautiful shared experience. When I apply oils to the third eye, I often roll it on my own finger and then apply it with my finger to the third eye. And I really like gently rub and also tap to activate as well. It just also feels really beautiful, but it's actually really activating the third eye as well. And then you can put your finger under their nostrils so they can breathe it in. Yeah, so that's just like a mini demonstration. You can go lots deeper, anointing feet, as India said, pulse points. These points under the ear, like along down here, are really beautiful spots to anoint as well. So yeah, rose is the oil of unconditional love. So deeply heart opening. It's just really, really incredible. Super high vibrational oil. Just so deeply supportive emotionally. It's also actually incredible for the immune system as well. It has so many powerful properties. Amazing for your skin, like really nourishing and rejuvenating and youthful kind of elixir. It's absolutely magical and very, very special. And then jasmine, which is what I put on India's wrist just now. Have you ever walked past a jasmine bush and smelt it blooming at night? Like it's so beautiful. I am obsessed with the way jasmine smells. It's such like a sexy, intoxicating, like mysterious, beautiful, and I love the way little jasmine flowers look. They look like little stars. And it's interesting to me that they bloom at night, and you can smell them so much more at night when they look like little stars, so like little glowing planets. So working with jasmine, it is the oil of sensuality, sexuality, so it really helps with integrating, like feeling really liberated in your sensuality, like being able to express and like move in the way that you want to move and connect intimately from a much more like present, open, receptive space. Is there anything that you want to add about jasmine? You were saying before you put it on your skin as well, which I have never done, like in terms of a blemish or a breakout. So
I was just researching. I wanted to know a little bit more about it and found out that it's the two things that surprised me, because I knew all about the sensuality, was that it calms the mind, so it can be really good actually before sleep, which is like, so it can be activating in a way of sensuality, but it can also calm your mind, which actually makes sense, because if you're dropping into your sensuality, it's out of the mind. And that other one is that it's amazing for your skin, so I just put a little bit on my cheeks sometimes.
If I want to smell sexy and go on a date, or just go out and like really vibe myself hard, I'll wear jasmine. It's just like, yes,
it's definitely my favorite for like perfume type of, if I'm using oil just for purely smell, it's jasmine.
100%. So beautiful.
Another thing I will say with rose and actually a few of these oils, because we're particularly talking about priestess oils, is that Some of these are particularly connected to a priestess lineage. So Rose is connected to the Rose lineage, and that's connected to Mary Magdalene, which connects back through to Isis. And Isis is deeply and all of the Egyptian goddesses will be deeply connected to Blue Lotus. And so these are actually hold this beautiful sister relationship between the two of them. So if you know your magic or energetic lineage that you work with, there may be particular plants that you'd like to work with, because they, when you connect with them, it's the whole piece I talked about the history and the lineage of a plant is embedded in its smell. So if you want to go deeper into your work with Mary Magdalene, using the rose will connect you with her and to the codes that she was working with. And yeah, you can go deeper into researching like what came from where. And the beautiful thing is that doTERRA goes and sources their plants from the proper country of origin and works with the people on the ground, so you know that it's coming from that place.
Yeah, that's one of the major reasons that I work with doTERRA essential oils specifically. They're 100% pure, so there's no fillers, there's no synthetics, which a lot of essential oils are synthetic, unfortunately. There's no pesticides or any crap in them, but mostly it's because they get them from where they indigenously thrive globally. So lavender is from France, rose is from Bulgaria. Frankincense is from Oman, Somalia, and other parts of northern Africa. And when you grow something, or when you pick something from where it thrives traditionally, rather than trying to grow it all in America or all in Australia just because the company might be located there, then the therapeutic and energetic quality of that is going to be so much more potent and powerful, because it is where it naturally thrives. So when it's thriving, it's just like that much more therapeutic and potent and powerful. And then we're supporting communities around the world. We source from over 40 countries around the world, and more than 20 of those countries are developing countries. So working on the ground, creating cooperatives and partnerships with these people, making sure they're paid on time, above award, fair wages, and then also working with the communities to get things like fresh running water or building schools, or really working with their needs and people on the ground to create thriving systems and communities in co-creation with the people there, rather than just dumping some money and eating out, which doesn't work at all. Yeah. Next one we're going to dive into is Clary Calm, which is such an amazing blend. It's called the monthly blend for women. Clary Calm, it has clary sage, lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, cedarwood, geranium, fennel, carrot seed, palmarosa, and vitex. Now this is so powerful and potent in terms of working with your cycle, working with your bleed. I always use it in the week leading up to my bleed and during. And as I've said, I've been using doTERRA essential oils for almost a decade now. And prior to starting, I had really intense, like 10-day periods, very heavy, very clotty bleeds, in a lot of pain as well, cramp wise, and like really intense PMS, like wanted to murder the week leading into my bleed. And also I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was hospitalized multiple times because cysts were bursting on my ovaries, they were rupturing. And I had endometriosis as well. And then when I started using this, the Vitex and Palmarosa and other ingredients help balance progesterone and estrogen. So they help balance your hormones. Also, the oils in here are very soothing, like physically for cramps and that kind of thing. But they balance your hormones. So it's going to support with PMS. It's going to support with regulating and balancing your cycle so that it's actually like coming much more regularly and on time. My bleeds are now like 5 days, super chill. I get a tiny bit of cramping into day 1, day 2, end of day 1, day 2, but it's like so mild compared to what it was. I haven't had a cyst on my ovaries literally in 8 years. I no longer have endo. Like fucking life-changing, majorly life-changing. If every girl and woman could have this. It also helps with peri and postmenopause as well, with hot flashes and all of those transitions through life. It's just so deeply supportive, and I just wish every woman had access to this. India, do you want to share about your experience?
Yeah, so this oil is the reason that I found my way into working so deeply with doTERRA, because I have my periods used to be fine, and then the past year they got like very severe in pain, and then Jessie shared this with me, and after only a few cycles I started to notice that they were becoming shorter, getting regulated, and all through this like incredible blend of plants. And I was like, oh my god, what is this? Like, so many, because I work with women in the work that I do, and I know how many women are suffering from like extreme menstrual disorders. So I'm particularly passionate about Clary Calm because it helps, like Jessie said, actually helps to regulate the hormones and support women at any point in their cycle.
Yeah, it's amazing. Super beautiful, and also just very calming and soothing to the emotions as well. Like, it's got so many flowers in it, so it's deeply, like, I actually love having a bath, and then I take the roller, like I flip the roller out and pour a little bit into the bath water, and that is just like I come out of the bath like semi-stoned, really, like just so calm and so relaxed, and then just have like a beautiful deep sleep. I love doing that, especially if I'm feeling premenstrual or like day kind of 2-3 of my bleed where it's like feeling a bit heavy. I really just love having a bath with that. So deeply supportive. Yeah. The next one is Salubel, which is a beautiful blend, very luxurious blend of essential oils. It's so special. Salubel. It has in it frankincense, which is just the king of oils. It's so magical. I'll talk more about frankincense soon. Hawaiian sandalwood, lavender, myrrh, helichrysum, which is also known as liquid stitches or the immortal flower. It's a beautiful yellow flower. And rose essential oil. So some of the essential oils that we've spoken about tonight, this is a really powerful blend, like on the go. If you want to take rose and myrrh and frankincense and sandalwood and all the things, but you may not have room, or you might be going on a trip overseas or on a hike or something like that. You don't want to pack every single one. Pack Salubel because it has so many of the beautiful, deeply emotionally supportive, grounding oils. But it's also an incredible first aid oil. So if you get blisters or cuts or stings or bites or anything like that, lavender is a powerful antihistamine and amazing for after sun care as well. Deeply calming, deeply soothing for the skin. It has a chemical constituent called linalool, so very calming and soothing for the skin. If you get bitten or stung by something, it literally pulls the redness and the heat and the poison out of your skin. It's a powerful natural antihistamine. And then you've got helichrysum, which, like I said, is liquid stitches. Literally midwives, like old school midwives, my midwife, who I had a free birth with my second son, so she's not actually a midwife, she's a doula, carried helichrysum essential oil in case women tore, because you literally apply it and it's like liquid stitches. It will close the wound back up and stop the bleeding. It's incredible. Really powerful for stretch marks, scars, anything to do like just on the skin in general, under the eye area as well. And also Natalie, who has been in doTERRA for like, I don't know, 14 years or something, was telling me that her vision started to improve because she was rolling this under her eyes every night as part of her skincare routine. You could roll it in your hands and then put some of our yarrow pom essential oil as well and use that as a beautiful, like, youthful, rejuvenating, just lit face blend. People always ask me if I'm like 19. I was at a music festival the other week and this young 19-year-old came up and she's like, oh, you guys must be like 19, 22. And I'm like, no, man, I'm 32. But thank you, appreciate it. Not that I have a problem with aging, I just think it's cool that people think that I'm literally like 12 years old. I get ID'd everywhere. And I think that using essential oils for a decade plus eating really well might have something to do with that. So yeah, this is just, it's so beautifully emotionally supportive, but also an incredible first aid all-rounder essential oil blend. Salubel beauty blend. My dad also wears it as a cologne, so it's really, it's has masculine and feminine oils as well, so it's like a really beautiful weaving of both. And my dad literally gets stopped in the street when he wears this, which is every day. Women stop him and like, what cologne are you wearing? And he says, it's really cute, he says, I'm not wearing cologne, I'm wearing my daughter's essential oils. I don't know if he thinks that I like own the company doTERRA, but yeah. It's really cute. Anyway, I'm wearing my daughter's essential oils. It's a blend called Salubel. Follow her on Instagram. Super cute. So Yeah, you can use it as a beautiful perfume, natural cologne, without poisoning yourself, because those things are terrible for your health and really deeply endocrine disrupting, which is your hormone system. So cologne and perfume with all the synthetic fragrances, terrible for your health. So get on the Claricalm to help balance your hormones back out, and then use essential oils and natural products to smell amazing and not ruin yourself hormonally. Yeah. Did you want to add anything about Sally Bells? Tonight's the first night that you've smelt it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the first time I've smelt that one tonight. I think it's so beautiful because it does blend masculine and the feminine, so it's a very unique like mix and scent. Yeah,
it's awesome. And then we come to, did I speak enough about Blue Lotus? I mean, Blue Lotus is a limited edition product, so I feel kind of like sad or bad talking about it. We had it in Australia as part of our Christmas catalog, and it sold out in like less than a week, I think, or around a week, which was sub-ideal. You can still get this from the US warehouse right now, so if you desperately want Blue Lotus, it is available there. I love it so much. I'm absolutely obsessed. It's just so deeply, deeply soothing to the nervous system, but it's also powerful for lucid dreaming, for really activating your third eye and really starting to tap into your intuition, visions. Like, it's just so, so powerful. And as India mentioned, like deep connection with Egypt and Isis. It's like a magic beyond the words that I can use to describe it. Like, it doesn't really do it justice. It's such a beautiful, potent
it's like
oil.
very much the like that is really speaks to the priestess. Like, it's very much the cosmic visionary beyond like words. You can't even find the words because it's in that type of illogical realm. And it is also actually an aphrodisiac. So it also has that like beautiful connection to pleasure and sensuality and arousal.
Yeah, it's just so special. I find if I'm feeling anxious, overwhelmed, in heightened states, like I don't think I have any other tool actually that brings me back to like a deeply settled nervous system, just like slows everything, calms everything down, because I drink quite a lot of Blue Lotus tea as well, and I have Blue Lotus baths. And then recently I've been using the Blue Lotus oil on my skin and then getting in a Blue Lotus bath with actual Blue Lotus flowers and just like fully immersing in that experience. And it's really profound what it does for my emotional nervous system, body, mind, spirit, like all of the things. And then the sleeps that I have and the dreams that I have after having a Blue Lotus oil and flower bath lit. My friends Malika and Renetha run the company Blue Lotus Effect, so if you're wanting to work with actual flowers as well, get their loose leaf teas. Amazing. Frankincense is the king of oils, and he's wearing a little crown, which is so cute, because this month in doTERRA you can actually get a frankincense essential oil for free, which is pretty wild because they're $119 retail. So if you place a 200 PV order, which is point value, if you already have a doTERRA account, if you place a 200 PV order, it'll be sent out with your order with this cute little crown topper hat, which is adorable because frankincense is the king. And then you can actually put a little piece of string and hang it as like a little Christmas ornament.
That's so cute. Not that I have a Christmas tree, but I'll just hang it somewhere.
Yeah, it is cute because frankincense was one of the gifts. Frankincense, myrrh, and gold.
Yeah.
So that's why little Christmas ornament would be cute. King of oils, absolutely amazing. Like, just it would take like a 5-day seminar to actually fully dive into all the properties, chemical constituents, the way that this oil can be weaved. Frankincense has a chemical constituent in it called sesquiterpenes, which is a thing that can cross the blood-brain barrier in your brain. There are very, very few things that can do that. Like, medically, there's very few things that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. It oxygenates the cells in your body. It helps healthy cells thrive. It like literally kills and stops unhealthy cells from existing, which is friggin' amazing. It's incredible for thyroid support, so you can actually apply this to your thyroid and then do some thymus tapping, which is amazing for your health. Incredible for your immune system. Like, ever I get a sore throat, I'm applying frankincense, gargling frankincense, tea tree, and lemon, using manuka honey. apply to the soles of your feet. Super grounding. Interesting thing about working with frankincense is it's like deeply grounding into the earth, but it's also deeply connecting. Like it is the oil of truth, so it's like connecting to source but then grounding that in. It's like both ends. I don't think there's another essential oil that has quite such a like this way effect. What else do I want to say about this? Deeply nervous system supporting. Like you can take it and drop under your tongue, use on your skin. It's very youthful and rejuvenating. You can use it on your hands, on your nails, just like any part of your body that you want to rejuvenate, nourish, support. It's just absolutely phenomenal, but beyond belief. You can put frankincense in like little vegetable capsules and take that internally. All you need is like 2 drops, really. What else do I want to say about frankincense? Like do research on this. It's incredible how many published studies there are on frankincense and its benefits. So you can jump on PubMed, where you can find heaps of research articles. You just type in frankincense in PubMed and you'll just come up with stacks and stacks and stacks of peer-reviewed, published journals on the benefits of frankincense. You can also go on the website aromaticscience.com and look up frankincense as well, because the science is incredible. It's both deeply supportive physically on a cellular level as well as emotionally, and that's why it is the king of oils and deserves a little crown, because it is absolutely beyond belief how powerful this is to support you. It's such a tool. Like it is the oil that I go through the most, because the other thing about frankincense is it enhances other oils when you use it. So if I have sore neck and shoulders and sore back, I'm doing weight training at the moment, so I do get pretty sore, I will apply frankincense first, and then I use the ice blue stick, which is like a little roller stick that has also copaiba in it. Deeply soothing for the muscles, helps everything relax, has wintergreen and peppermint and camphor and stuff. But the frankincense drives oils in deeper. It's like when you layer this, it helps everything become more powerful. It's like a super activating enhancer of all of the things. So yeah, freaking amazing. You get quite passionate, as you can tell, when I talk about frankincense. And it is sourced, like I said, in Oman and Somalia and other parts of northern Africa. It's the resin of these trees, which is very difficult to source. And previously the farmers were being ripped off and not paid by the perfume industry, and like middlemen were just like basically robbing them blind. And the women that were working on sorting through the frankincense resin and the tears were not being treated well and not being paid either properly or like at all. So doTERRA have come in, and I don't even know how they like managed to do this, because they're working with, you know, like violent, horrific people, but they managed to cut out these middlemen and work directly and create cooperatives with these people, so they get paid on time, above award, fair wages, have safe, healthy working conditions, and then working in the communities to get things like previously girls and women were not being educated in these areas, so working with schooling and helping girls and women have access to education. So it's also a beautiful story in terms of the sourcing. If you want to know more about that, jump on YouTube and look, just YouTube doTERRA frankincense sourcing, and you can watch the videos of the stories. So really powerful.
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about working with doTERRA and this piece of the priestess working with the collective is it's aligning with a company who, like for me, align to all of my core values that I hold for myself and the world that I want to live in. So it's like through me partaking with this company and all the ways that I do, I'm spreading out that ripple into the consciousness and to like people in Oman, for example, but it's people all over the world. So that's what I deeply love about the deep like core value alignment that can occur with doTERRA.
Yeah, it's really amazing. That's a massive part of why I felt like I could make this a massive part of my business and my life, is because of the integrity, the ethics, the sustainability, the vision and the mission of the 7 people that own doTERRA as a company is the purest and most potent essential oils, and is like healing and deep like integration of making the world really a better place where we have thriving, sustainable, healthy, educated, well-resourced communities that are able to just like live in harmony and yeah, and have better lives, have money and food on the table, and have support and um, you know, medical facilities and all of the things that they need to really thrive as communities. There's so much education that goes hand in hand with what doTERRA do as well, on all levels. So that's why it deeply, deeply aligns for me. And the empowerment of communities, the empowerment of the people that use these essential oils to then empower themselves physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, and then financially. For me, I get most excited when I'm working with people to build a thriving business, because if they're using the oils for personal use, amazing. I love my customers so much. I love that they get to weave with the plants and really empower themselves to like become their own healer and have a healer in every home. But the growth that I see when people choose to go in on building a thriving income stream or a massive thriving business, like what I've done and what I've helped a number of other people do, like that level of growth is just profound. The transformation that I witness in people, the self-worth and confidence and belief that they start to experience in themselves as they utilize the oils, but then also tap into the community and have someone like myself or India like breathing belief in them, really seeing their value, like the value that they have to bring and the magic that they have to bring, the unique essence that India brings through in her doTERRA business, I find deeply inspiring and excites, encourages, and uplifts me to like keep showing up in my business. And then India being inspired by my training and the way I share doTERRA, it's like this symbiotic inspiration and co-creation that creates empowerment for both myself and India as individuals, and then ripples out into communities and creates just like deep empowerment and healing on all levels. It's lit. I don't think there's a better feeling that I've experienced in my life, in terms of my corporate career. Like I've got deep fulfillment with my children and my relationships, but my career, the feeling of me achieving presidential diamond, which is a 7-figure income, that feeling is pretty lit. Like I've created deep abundance for myself. I have choices, I have freedom. But the feeling that I feel in my heart and in my body and in my spirit when I have another person that I've personally mentored achieve 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, working towards 7 figures in the business, receiving their awards and having tears running down their face and like deep gratitude in their hearts for what I've inspired in them and the belief that I've shown in them, and then what they achieve and create in their own lives, like that shit hits me hard. It is severely amazing, like just really, really beautiful. It touches me so deeply. I already have a vision of like India walking in just this beautiful priestess, like lit gown, receiving her awards, and me being at the end embracing her, and it's like it's really good. So
yeah, so beautiful and potent. So we'll share a little bit about like the different ways that you can work as a priestess of the plant. So we've talked a lot about how you can weave it into your personal life through ritual, health, healing. There's also a whole range of like products for your kitchen and your bathroom. So there's that personal level where you're bringing the plants into your life and the life of the loved ones. The next is if you have a business that you want to weave these into, say you're a coach, you're a healer or a therapist, a cleaner, and you feel that these beautiful plants would assist your clients. Say you're a cleaner and you want to use like these beautiful plants to help clean the homes of the people that you work for, or you're a coach or you do like shamanic healing work, and you want to more deeply support your clients emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, as you weave that beautiful priestess, or maybe you resonate more with the word like witch or medicine woman or medicine man, whatever it is for you that you do, your unique thing, having that extra support of the plants as you build your relationship with them and that of your clients. And then the third one is where you fully step into doTERRA and are like a pillar in the plant revolution. And so you're actually supporting other people to build their businesses, and to buy products and to spread the revolution outwards in a massive ripple. So this is what Jessie's talking about when she has supported people to come to 6-figure businesses through working with doTERRA, and that could be, maybe it's a side stream of income. Imagine a 6-figure side stream of income, or they've fully gone in and they just work with oils, or they're a coach or a healer and they're weaving that in and supporting other people to also build their own businesses. So there's kind of many different ways that you can explore your priestess and what feels good for you where you're at, and how deeply you're ready to like move into that beautiful space of being a steward of Mother Earth, being a steward of the plants, and being a steward of all of her inhabitants.
So beautiful. Yeah, it's really up to you how you want to play, whether you just want to use them for personal use, whether you want to share a little bit to get a couple of $100 extra a month, or 1,000 or 2,000. You know, I've helped a lot of people have like 5,000 a month coming in, which is like an average full-time income, which is amazing. And then if you want to go beyond that, you know, there is endless opportunities, endless potential. 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and beyond. Like I have friends that are earning $350,000, $400,000 a month profit from the doTERRA business. Like endless potential. It is wild. Yeah, so you can just reach out. If you came to this webinar through India, please reach out directly to her through her Instagram, or I will send an email and share her email as well at the end of this webinar. If you came to this webinar through me, feel free to reach out to me, or if someone else introduced you to the essential oils, feel free to reach out to them directly. Yeah, we're here to support you. We're here to support you, whether it's for personal use or sharing a little bit or creating a wildly abundant income stream. Yeah, we'd love to support you.
Yeah, whatever it is that you're curious about. If you're like, I have, you know, this particular physical thing going on and I need support, what oil should I use? Or you're like, I want to be a pillar of the plant revolution. We're here for you wherever you're at, and to support that journey and that opening of your relationship with the plants and of your priestess.
Beautiful. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I feel, hang on, I just want to read there's a few things happening in the chat. Yes, I love the idea of being a priestess of the plants. Yeah. So beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, the smells. Yes.
Jasmine has stuck with me since we're at the island. Love jasmine. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Amazing. Well, let us know if you have any questions. Our Instagram, yep, we can put that in the chat. Yeah. So mine is at Jessie, my first name, JESSIE _Reimers, and India's India the Scarlet. Oops, sorry. There we go. That's our Instagram.
Pleasure.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It's been really beautiful to feel your energy in the space, and to have you guys on here learning more about weaving the plants and the process of the plants. And thank you, India, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. Deeply appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Jessie. I learned a whole heap new things as well, particularly about frankincense, which was so beautiful. The beautiful thing is, as Jessie shared at the very beginning, is that when you work with these, you get to constantly be a student, because I mean, these beings, these are actually, I believe, the plants are like the original masters and teachers of the earth. So even though Jessie's worked with them for like 1,000 years, she's still learning, and it's such a beautiful process to be in being the student.
Yeah, we're never going to know everything there is to know about essential oils, because the way that they work is so powerful and so potent and so unique that we're never going to have like full conscious understanding of actually their full weaving. Each essential oil has hundreds of different natural compounds within just each oil, and then when you work with blends, it's like hundreds of each oil within the blend, so it's deeply complex and like magical. And yeah, you might have some understanding of the science and the emotional benefits, but actually, like, you're probably getting like a grain of sand in a whole beach of how they're actually weaving with us. So that's really fun.
Yeah. The only other thing I feel to add is that the beautiful thing, if you do feel the call towards like weaving this into business, is that you get to do it absolutely through your unique individuality. So this is Priestess of the Plants because the priestess is like my thing that I work with in my business. However, I've seen many other people around me who are on Jessie's team who do it in their unique medicine, which is very different to mine. So you've just received it through like this lens of ours, and you get to create it exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah, which is so, so beautiful and freeing. Like, I have people on my team that love to cook and create with the essential oils in that way, like different recipes and smoothies and bliss balls and like all those fun things is a big passion. I have other people that are so passionate about toxin free living, and so they're really focused on like DIY cleaning sprays and like what you can use in your dishwasher and your laundry and all of those things. Like, that's their big lens that they filter it through. Yeah, and I have men and women and people from all different backgrounds on my team that really weave this in their own unique way, like mums that really focus on like how to use them with babies and kids and to help your kids sleep at night, and teething and like all of the things that come with, you know, raising little ones. There's so many different ways that you can weave and create with this. So yeah, reach out if you have questions.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful evening.